So we're here today with George Dennehy. Thank you for joining us, George.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. Yeah, well, my name is George Dennehy, and I'm 24 years old, and I live in the U.S. I live in the state of Virginia. I am a dad to a 4-year-old little boy, and I was born without arms.
And whereabouts were you born?
So I was actually born in Romania, um, and I was given up for adoption straight from birth. My biological parents just weren't able to take care of me, so they put me in an orphanage. And I was in the orphanage for about 3 years, and then I was adopted by my family now. There's a lot of adopted kids in my family from all over the world. So it really is just one little United Nations.
And there's also a documentary on your channel about more about your family. So if people want to find out more, I'll leave a link in the description. You can check that out.
Oh,
so you're a musician as well. So kind of, how did you first get into music?
Yeah, so when I was really young, I must have been 6 or 7. My mom had noticed that I would watch a movie, like I'd watch like a Disney movie or something, and then I would go to the piano after the movie and play the music from the movie without having any kind of training or anything. So my mom was like, I guess there's some kind of thing there, like maybe he's musical. And some of my older siblings had been taking like classical music lessons, like violin and cello, and my mom, both my parents kind of, they live with the well, why can't George do it mentality? He can do anything too.
Yeah.
So they were like, well, so he's going to take music lessons too. So I ended up learning how to play the cello at the age of 7, and I played that for a long time. And I started playing piano, and I picked up the guitar in middle school, and I've just been playing music ever since.
Okay.
Ever since a young age. It's always been a part of me.
So, like, what kind of music would you be into yourself? Like, what would you listen to on a day-to-day basis?
Man. Well, my favorite artist of all time is Ben Howard.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I like him.
I love. Yeah, he's the absolute best. So anything in that realm is kind of what I would listen to.
And a bit of a blast from the past, but a few years ago you performed with the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yes.
Yeah. So they saw your cover of Iris, and they invited you to play with them. Was that it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the Goo Goo Dolls are, they're one of my favorite bands as well.
Yeah.
And right after high school, I did this local strawberry fair in town where my parents lived and where I lived at the time. And so I ended up playing Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls for that show. It was just a small thing, but that video ended up going viral. And the band, the Goo Goo Dolls, they saw it, and their manager reached out to me. I didn't think it was real at first. I thought it was kind of scam.
Yeah.
Because you never know. And obviously, that's way too good to be true. But it turned out it was real, and I was blown away. So I got to play a big concert with them in front of like 7,000 people outside. I was this 18-year-old kid. And it was the dream come true, and it really was like a dream. Like, I look back at it and I'm like, did that really happen?
Yeah.
Because it just feels like a little blur now. It's crazy.
So what are you kind of up to now? Do you still do music, or like what are your plans for the future and stuff?
So right now I still do music and I still travel, but a big portion of what I do is speaking. So I do a lot of kind of motivational speaking all around the country. A lot of different schools, and churches, and organizations, and nonprofits, and I kind of just travel with, my message of anything's possible. That never limit yourself, because you never know what can happen when you just try.
Do you think when you were younger, like, did you find it harder to kind of find different ways of doing things that people would have taken for granted? Like,
so for the most part, things just came naturally to me, like how to just live, and how to, just how to like eat and how to get changed and do all that stuff. Like I figured out a way to do it, but I tell people, like, that's not to say that there are some things that are just harder than others. Like if I have to get a full gallon of milk out of the fridge, like that's kind of tough. And people are like, oh, I wouldn't think about that. But if you think about it, it's like that's something that you just naturally do, and you probably don't even think about it. But then I try to do it, and it's a battle, and I'm like, am I going to spill it? Am I going to spill it? Am I going to spill it? And maybe I spill it. There's definitely some things that can be more challenging, but it's not to say that they're impossible.
Yeah. Well, that's a good motto to have, I think. And I know that your faith is very important to you, so how does that kind of help you in your day-to-day life?
Yeah, my faith in God and my faith in Jesus has really, really helped me. And that's kind of what got me through. That is what got me through that hard point in my life in middle school and high school. Because what I tell people is that my faith is what gives me purpose. And it kind of gives me a direction in life. And I believe that when I look to God, when I ask God for a direction where I'm supposed to go, then those doors and those roads will kind of become clear to me. Because I tend to get confused easily and not really knowing what I should do in a certain situation or where I'm supposed to go or what I'm supposed to do. So that's really where my faith always kicks in. It's there because I know that I don't have to have all the answers, because there's somebody who does, and I just have to follow him.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. And I must ask you, with a name like Dennehy, do you have any Irish roots that you know of in your family?
Yeah, that's. I told my dad about this because my dad is Irish and my grandpa.
Oh.
My dad's dad is Irish.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want people to know about you that from Ireland that probably didn't hear of your story before?
This is so random, but people don't always know this about me. But I love like you said, I love puns. And I love freaking people out. Like I love scaring people on purpose. So I guess I just like having fun. I'll be driving in my car because I drive a car with my feet, and I'll be driving my car, and I'll go to like a drive-through and just act like everything's normal. But then they look at me like all crazy, and I'm like, everything's normal. A lot of my funny moments turn out to be dangerous because it's while I'm driving. So people look at me and they're not paying attention to the road.
Yeah.
So they'll like go off the road a little bit, but that hasn't happened too much. So I share this story a lot. So maybe people who might hear this or watch this will have seen this before. But I was at the beach during the summer.
Oh, I think I heard the story. I think I heard you say it.
Yeah. So with the girl
and the vegetables. Yeah.
I mean that's still the funniest. I mean there's not a lot that is topped that sense. Yeah. But this little girl asked me what happened to my arms because I wasn't wearing a shirt, so she could see, and I told her I didn't eat my vegetables. The advice that I try to give to people when I try to reach students and younger people, the main thing I try to tell them is that what you're going through right now, I know is difficult, and I know it seems impossible, and you're never going to get out of it. But I just remind them that this is just a season. What you're in right now is a season, and you will come out the other side. You will come out stronger, and you will look back and see, okay, well, I think I know why that had to happen. I think I know why I had to go through it. And I've done that so many times in my own life, where it came to going through school, being bullied, or like breakups or whatever, and stuff like that. Like you in the moment, you think it's the worst thing in the world, and it is. Then right then and there, but then you come out of it and you look back and you're like, oh, okay, I see why that had to happen.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the advice I try to give kids or give anybody really. It's just you gotta hold on to yourself. You gotta hold on to hope, and don't give up, and don't keep going forward. And in life, just keep moving forward. And that's the best way to live. Well, my name is George Dennehy, and this has been the Dale Sessions.